He's pretty accommodating.
Boy, he is too. He says, shoot every one of them. And I talked to DG Schweitzer, and he told me, sure, go ahead. He's got it all posted up there, but he told me to shoot every coyote.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Cindy.
Hi.
John is not going to make it. He said he's ill, so he's not going to be here tonight. So I've got another minute until 7, but I guess we'll start right in.
Rob, I've got this form from the bank that you need to sign to. I'll put it on your desk.
Okay. Can it wait till Saturday, or do you want me to come down tomorrow? And do it?
No. It can wait till next week.
Okay. All right.
I'm in no hurry getting it back to him.
All right, it is 7 o'clock. I will call the meeting to order. Let me share my screen and we'll do the pledge. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. I think it should be a relatively quick meeting. We've got quite a few agenda items, but I think they're all pretty straightforward. So, Jamie, you want to start us off with any new highway goings on in the last 2 weeks?
I don't really have any new highway goings on. Everything's kind of calm and quiet out in the shop. The guys have been working on a lot of miscellaneous projects. We worked on some outdoor lighting, try to get some of the outdoor lights fixed. Just odds and ends. Got the trucks pretty well washed up, greased up, and ready to go when it decides it's going to snow. So kind of the status of where we stand in the garage. Yeah, right now, if the weather holds out this coming week, which it sounds like it may, we may get out and do a little tree trimming and maybe a few new signs here and there, but just trying to fill the hours during the day till we get snow, plowing snow. So, but other than that, that's all I have for you. I want to wish all you guys a happy, safe, and healthy new year. And it's been a pleasure working with you guys, and look forward to doing so from here on out. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Yep.
Same to you. Okay, Obi, anything on the sewer? Don't think
No.
so. Okay. Jim, you had texted me about code, but I didn't think there was anything happening. Is that true? Oh, I can't hear you. You're unmuted, but I can't hear you for some reason. Do you know sign language?
Universal.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think there's anything on the code end of things. Jim, if you need to say anything or downvote, give me one of these or wave your hand or something. I don't know why you're not coming through. You're unmuted, but I can't hear you. All right, we'll move on. Water, there's nothing really to report. They are going to start installing that main sometime in January. I don't have an exact date yet, but as soon as I know more details on it, I will let you know, Jamie, and let Tim Hens know. They're expecting that work is going to take between a week and 2 weeks to get done. Okay, and I guess we will move on to our regular business. Jamie, did you have a chance to read the resolution that I wrote up regarding?
Yes, I did. Yep, I read over it, and that just follows up with what you guys had passed one on last year, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
It just reiterates and speaks specifically to
Yes.
you as opposed to a generic highway superintendent.
Yep, that's perfect what you had there.
Okay.
Yep.
Obi, Jim, did you? Oh, Jim's gone. We're gonna have to wait for Jim to come back before we can vote because we don't have a quorum.
Yes, I read it.
Okay. Did you have any comments or thoughts on it, Obi?
Nope.
Okay,
Looks good.
good. There's Jim. Does it work now? No, I still can't hear you. Don't know. Were you able to read the resolution about Jamie it was a reaffirmation of the resolution we passed last year? Yes, okay. Do you have any? All right, so I guess I'll make a motion that we pass the resolution reaffirming the policy set forth last year regarding the highway superintendent and saving of sick time and expectations. Is there a second? Jim seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This works just fine. We don't need microphones. All right. On to the next one. We needed to amend the legal agreement with Mark Boylan because he went over budget on the water tank. He upped it significantly, but the intention there is that I don't want to use that much money, you know. So we're going to keep it real tight as far as involving him only when it's absolutely necessary, which is what we've done so far. But you know, he upped it by an additional, I think, $12,000. So I have no intention of using that much money for him. But according to USDA rules, we have to approve an amended agreement before we can pay him for what he's already done. Is there any comments or questions on that?
No.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve the updated service agreement with Mark Boylan for the water tank.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. The assessment agreement with Batavia, we actually passed this several months ago, but there was some things that needed to get changed with Leroy's wording. Nothing changed as far as we're concerned, but Leroy changed the number of hours that their assessor is going to be in the office in Leroy. Therefore, since we're all bundled together in the same agreement, we have to reapprove the agreement. But the wording in the agreement as far as Pavilion is concerned is exactly the same as what we passed, I think, in September. So if there's no questions or comments on that, I will make the motion that we approve the assessment agreement with Batavia and Leroy.
Second.
I think Jim beat you.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The single audit quote, just to summarize, the USDA requires that we have what's called a single audit, which is a full audit of the town's financials by an accredited firm. Anytime you spend over $750,000 worth of federal money in a year, you have to do this as a requirement. Because we spent over $750,000 this year on the water tank, we have to do it, which means we can't use Don Prisbel and have the inexpensive audit that we've done previously. We have to go with an accredited firm. So previously we had gotten a quote from Freed Maxick for $16,500 for the single audit. And now we have a quote from Mengel, Metzer, Bar and Company. And their quote is, let me scroll down here, 14,500, I want to say. Let me find it here. No, 12,500.
Oh, right.
12,500. It's $4,000 less. That's right. Same service, both accredited firms. Just one is $4,000 less, and our hand is forced. So if anybody has any questions or comments about that, it is something that we need to approve tonight, you know, so that they can get doing it as soon as the year end clicks over. So I would make the recommendation that we go with the cheaper of the two quotes.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I'll make the motion then to accept the quote from Mengel, Metzer and Bar for $12,500 for a 2020 single audit.
So move.
Second, Obi second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The water district audit that I sent out, did everybody read that line by line and really put themselves to sleep? That was fun. It was fun to do. So boiling it down, going back to 2016, just a whole lot has changed in the last 5 years. You know, back then there was some spirited discussion with the then supervisor regarding billing on bulk water to the water district. He insisted that anything to do with the bulk water station should be billed to the water district, but all profits from the bulk water went to the general fund. So anytime the mechanism broke or the water that was used or the electricity that was used to run it was being paid for by the water district members, but the proceeds from selling that water was going to everybody in the town. So, you know, to me, it's a no-brainer. That doesn't belong to be billed to the water district. If the proceeds are going to the general needs to pay for the service. So there was a lot of things like that. Also at the time, it was believed that we should 50-50 bill anything to do with Paul Chatfield and MRB, well, Chatfield at the time, 50 between general and 50 between the water district, which doesn't really make sense. There was also, when Water District 7 was in the works, that was getting billed to the Consolidated Water District, which really it's its own thing. And, you know, by the nature of districts, they can't overlap. You know, Water District 7 is one group of people, existing Water District is another group. So the whole point of that audit was to, now that we have capital projects set up for Water District 7, we have capital projects set up for the water tank, get everything going back 5 years straightened out so that it's all being billed properly, which is what I sent out for you. And what I found with that was that Water District 7 owes the Water District $4,309.60. Cindy, I'll send all this stuff to you. You don't have to write any of it down. That the general fund owes the Water District $4,381.96. The sewer district owes the Water District $910. The storage tank owes the Water District, and this is moving everything from the storage tank over to the capital fund. That's $897,872.48. And then the water storage tank owes the general fund $1,800.50. And then last year we had approved an interfund loan from the general fund to the water district at the amount of $75,000. And we'll rectify that as well. Does anybody have any questions about why we would make those transfers or anything to do about that water audit?
No?
Okay. Then I would make a motion to approve the budget transfers just listed. Is there a second? Jim, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. All right, I think that takes care of 2 items on the agenda. The new drug testing company that I sent out, did anybody have any thoughts or comments about that? The county has decided to change their provider, and the county gave us the name of the people that they're going to be going with. Most of the towns in Genesee County have updated to go with them. Jamie, do you want to just hit on some of the high points of what the new company offers?
Well, from what I read up on it, I mean, it's just going to be just out of pure convenience. They will do the drug testing on site. The last drug testing we went through, we went out to the county building in the fall, and I believe there was 3 of us that stood in line out there for a better part of an hour and a half. It was staffed by one guy doing a drug test, and there was 40 guys in line. So when you have the loss of all the time we had on that right there is the biggest selling point. Not only convenience, but savings, a loss of manpower. So, and as far as the gory details of it, I didn't get really too far into it. I know they offer a few different packages depending on what you need to be tested for, but ours is pretty basic and straightforward for a CDL. So to me, it's definitely a no-brainer. I think we ought to jump on board with it. There are quite a few towns listed on there close by, Town of York, Livingston County towns, as well as there's 2 or 3 Genesee County towns that are already on it, as well as private employers throughout the area. So it's a pretty popular service.
Anybody have any thoughts or questions or concerns about going with them?
No,
Okay, then I would make a motion that for 2021 drug testing, we contract with Safer Driving Solutions. Safer
I'll-
Driver Solutions. Yep,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. We need a resolution to certify that Lucinda Starr is able to engage in banking business and transfers through community bank so that she can endorse and deposit revenues to the town. This is just required by the bank so that she can keep putting the money in. Does anybody
I'll move
want
on.
to?
And I'll go at once here.
Jim seconds.
I'm not
All
very,
in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right. We have the proposal from MRB that I sent out regarding their fee for the map plan and report for Water District 7. This is what they'll gather everything up, send it to rural development to get the funding underway so that we can go to petition. Did anybody have any questions or concerns on that one? The total cost was $9,900 to Water District 7.
what about that again?
Okay, I would make the motion to accept their proposal. Jim seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we're getting there, guys. Christina, our bookkeeper down at Baldwin, requested that we authorize a transfer from the TNA checking account to the joint checking account. This is the health deductions that were withheld from the paychecks through the year. Okay, and it's just transferring the money. I don't even think we need a resolution for this, but we might as well do one, just CYA. It's a transfer of $6,212.49 from the TNA bank account to the joint checking account to pay for the health deductions for the year. Any questions or comments on that? I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And the last thing, it's not on the agenda, but Christina sent up an updated monthly budget report, and I just have two small budget transfers to rectify lines that went over by a couple $100. The first, and Cindy, I'll send these to you. You don't need
Okay.
to worry about it. It's $287.50 to be transferred from the court contractual to the court clerk personnel line, and $335.30 to be transferred from the assessor contractual to the assessor equipment line. And that's it. Not super exciting. Anybody have any questions on those? Okay, I'll make the motion to make those transfers. Jim seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, is there a motion to approve the warrant? Oh,
Wait a minute. What about this, oh, that thing we had to do for COVID? Where am I looking?
oh, the
Oh,
pandemic.
yeah.
The pandemic thing.
Yeah, did you guys both get that?
Yeah.
Another very exciting document. So the state, in all of its wisdom, has decided that in the midst of this pandemic, everyone by law has to plan, pass a official pandemic plan for the next pandemic. Not that the next pandemic is likely to have anything similar with this pandemic, but we by law have to do this. So what I sent out to you is a modification of a boilerplate plan that was laid out by the Association of Towns. It just essentially says all the common sense stuff that, it lays out our essential employees, which are the highway crew. It says that, as needed for safety, if we need to split shifts or something, we can do that. We can have employees work from home at the discretion of department heads, and that we should, have sanitary equipment on hand in the case of another pandemic where people would need to come in and work. So it's nothing groundbreaking, but we do have to do it by law. So does anybody have any thoughts or questions, concerns about that? Okay, I'm trying to see what the exact wording is here. Give me 1 second. Go back through my files. Okay, then I will make a motion to pass the Pavilion health emergency plan. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Cindy. Is there anything else I'm forgetting?
Yeah. Who's gonna manage the transfer station Saturday?
Me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna manage it Saturday. I'm gonna be, Jim's gonna come down at 7:30 and I'm gonna show him the thing the way to get into the safe, the keys, the whole deal. Then Jim, you're gonna do the 9th. Obi, do you have a weekend that works best for you?
Doesn't matter.
You want to plan on doing the 16th then?
Okay.
And then Obi, sometime you and I can get together and I'll show you what we have to do. I think it's going to be kind of key to keep it more of a line and more organized than it was under the old guard. It was kind of just people swarming in. It has been slower lately. And then, of course, when Covington switches to roadside, it's going to get significantly slower. But I think it's going to be key just to let people know, please wait in line. You need to write down their name if they're going to buy a ticket on a sheet. Make sure you take the money before you give them the ticket so we don't forget. There's a lockbox there that the money can go into. And then at the end of the shift, write down the total on a piece of paper and put the whole thing in the safe in the hallway there at Town Hall. The keys have got a key to the lockbox and a key to Town Hall. And I'll go through the whole thing with you.
What time are you and Jim gonna do it Saturday?
We're gonna meet down there at 7:30. The dump's gonna be open from 8 to 11. Cindy, I did write that lady back.
Yeah.
So.
When Don came out to do the audit, he suggested, and I have been doing this with Cindy, that I write a receipt with the
Okay,
ticket numbers and the money and put your names on it. So you can
okay.
do whatever you want to with your receipts, but kind of another tracking.
Yep. Okay. We need to approve the warrant still. I'll make a motion to approve the warrant. Second from Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Anything else?
I didn't put it down, but did you want to approve the minutes from the meeting last week for the water?
Oh, from the water informational.
Yeah, you want to get that done or wait until we do it in
No,
January?
Let's do it. I'll approve
Okay.
the meeting minutes from the water information session. Jim seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That meeting went very well. I was really pleased with it, and I've gotten feedback since then from other residents that couldn't make it, and I think there's overwhelming support for that water district. So I think it's really just going to be a matter of going through the procedures and hoping that the other organizations can be timely and getting back to us so that we can keep it moving at a good clip. Okay, if there is nothing further from anybody, I would offer a motion at 7:24 to close the meeting.
So move.
Very happy new year. Thank you
Yes.
all for all your hard work in 2020. It was a difficult difficult year, especially for Jim. He had to learn a new language. And, and I appreciate everything that every one of you do.
Same here, Rob.
This is a group effort and it really shows, and we've got a really good group. So I couldn't be happier with all you folks and look forward to keeping working together in 21. All right.
Thank you.
Rob,
Yeah.
I had a phone call from Jenna today.
Oh, wondering if we
And,
contract with her.
well, she's fishing and got a lot of towns going with her.
Yeah.
Most of Wyoming County towns are going with her. Warsaw's going with her. She's gonna talk to you sometime. She's working on it with a new program, a new guy that works something through the state. So everything like her payroll, the minute she does payroll, retirement goes right to the state. When they do the annual update, she said instead of putting it on QuickBooks, then they put it on a spreadsheet, then it goes onto Excel, and then they send it up to, this is a form that they have that is meant, the minute they do it, you click a button, it goes right to the state.
Yeah.
So, and that guy is gonna come out, she thought maybe March, April, and do a talk, I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
I told her I would put it out there to you.
Yeah.
She was not pushy at all. Her and that Ashley, I think, that worked
Oh,
for
okay. They-
the two of them. They're in the Zeech's building in Warsaw.
Yeah, I've been by there a couple of times and thought, well, if it
So,
wasn't for COVID, I would
so-
stop in and say hello, but.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
There's only
thank you.
3 people working at Baldwin's.
Yeah.
So, but she's, just so you have a heads up, she might get a hold of you sometime.
Appreciate it.
I don't know, I think we're happy where we are maybe, but,
Well, we're contracted for 21.
yeah. She says she's getting payroll. Covington is coming in to talk to her. They have the payroll company and Perry,
Mhm.
and they're coming in to talk to her about doing payroll. And so she's moving right along.
Yeah,
So-
sounds like she's doing well.
She was our old bookkeeper at Baldwin's,
Right.
so nobody knew that. So we'll see.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Hey, Rob, real quick, one thing, last year, I think you spoke to the fellow over on the corner of St. Mary's about parking in the street, Curvin. You see, we
Yes, sir.
got that going on again this year. How would you and Jim and Obi like to handle something like that? Do we need to send him a registered letter of sorts? And he's been told not to park out on the street. Do you want me to pound on the door as the authoritative figure, or how do we want to handle that so we can get a point across to him? I mean, boy, he's got
I
short
sent a
memory.
letter last year. I suppose, why don't we be nice about it? We'll send him a letter again. I can just update the letter from last year. But if he keeps doing it, then Jamie, it's really kind of the highway superintendent's.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would, if that's the way you want to handle it. I mean, I didn't know if sending him a letter would be better documentation to show that he was served versus, I mean, I can go over and talk to him. The only thing we have at a disadvantage is we don't have our no parking on the streets posted there in the hamlet, like we're gonna post out on the rural roads. So, I mean, if he wants to use the argument, I didn't know I couldn't park out there. Well, we do have a no parking ordinance throughout the winter months.
And he was informed last year that.
Yeah, so, but I just wanted to see how you guys wanted to approach it.
I'll send the letter out to him again and see if that doesn't nudge him along a little bit.
Okay. I mean, I'm more than willing to go over and knock on his door, but I just wanted to get with you to see
Yeah.
what conversation, or how you really handled it last year as far as, corresponding with him.
Yeah, I sent him a letter. I never heard from him. I kind of expected a phone call or something, but I never got one.
Well, it won't be too long, and his next door neighbor there to the north she'll be over chattering at me, and I just want to make sure that, I mean, it's definitely, and she would have all right to do so.
Yep.
I mean, it's a hindrance to the sidewalk, it's a hindrance to try to plow the roads, and thank gosh we haven't had a lot of snow to deal with.
Yeah,
Or it would have been a big problem up to this point, but so far so good, but I would like to get something taken care of with it before winter does set in sooner or later.
I will put it on the list and we'll go from there.
Okay, that's all I have.
All right,
Thanks, Rob.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay. I guess with that, we'll end the meeting at 7:29. Any opposed? Very well. Hope you all have a happy and safe new year. And I'm gonna kind of go dark over the next 2 days, but I'll see you on Saturday, Jim, and the rest of you next week probably. So thank you much.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Okay,
Yep, you
Happy
too.
New Year.